Prince of Persia games from the last generation are highly regarded for good reason. They look great, they had incredibly addictive and engaging platforming, and the way they let you manipulate time was a hook that caught our attention in a big way. If somehow you never played them, the time is now. For less than the price of a regular game, you can get the HD remakes of all 3 PS2 era Prince of Persia games in the Prince of Persia Trilogy HD. As soon as you boot up the game, you have to make a choice. Are you going to play The Sands of Time, Warrior Within, or Two Thrones? All 3 of the titular Prince's adventures are here, but you only get one shot to pick before you have to quit out of the game completely to choose again. Annoying? Sure, but not the end of the world since you're still getting 3 games. If you're unfamiliar with the Prince series, let me bring you up to speed. These are action platformers starring, well, the Prince of Persia, a dashing, ridiculously agile hero. Through the 3 games, you'll use his ninja skills to overcome a series of environmental puzzles, as well as defeat whatever horrific enemies he faces. The menus, music, and sound are all straight remakes of the original. The big difference, though, is the high-res textures and that all the games are running in widescreen. While only so much can be done with the engine to bring it up to speed, graphically it still has moments where it impresses. If nothing else, it certainly doesn't look bad on an HD screen. And if you're lucky enough to have a 3D TV, you'll be stoked to know that all 3 games support 3D. Scene to scene, all 3 Prince of Persia games are here in their entirety. This means you'll get the frustrating moments, where the prince seems to jump inexplicably where you didn't mean for him to go. But it also means you'll get all the moments that make you feel like a badass. Platforming your way through the environment in ways that few games today can even hold a candle to. The environmental puzzles and combat also hold up well. Despite having completed them years ago, the clever puzzles are satisfying to solve. Combat, too, is fun, with the prince's agility empowering him to take on several enemies at once. The time mechanics of each game are still a blast to play around with. Having a chance to take back a horrible mistake gives the Prince of Persia games fantastic pacing. You never feel cheated by death, but instead look at it as an opportunity to learn. If, like me, you remember not all the Prince of Persia games being as fun as one another, don't expect the collection to change that. The original story is fantastic, but the latter ones, not so much. Still, the platforming in them is great and definitely worth checking out. Ultimately, what makes the Prince of Persia Trilogy great is its value. For so little, you get some of the best games of the last generation. Granted, not all the Prince of Persia games are created equal, but overall, the story they tell is worth playing, especially at this bargain price. For more on Prince of Persia Trilogy, go to IGN.